And then, of course, Frenchie and I and everyone else involved were making bets with Tecmo Super Bowl. It's one of the best NES games of all time. I was originally trying to get good at it before my old NES broke, but that was like a main thing that I wanted as far as like, to sit there and do. I mean, some folks, I remember like rappers like Lil Wayne and Birdman talking about how they would bet like $100,000 on whether or not what team would win in Madden NFL. So I just figured, seeing as most of us here, the Contra Bros, are NES players, why not put a few dollars up for Tecmo Super Bowl? Now, obviously, I think Frenchie won. I don't remember, but, I suppose coming out $10 isn't really too horrible. So, but then December didn't really have a lot going for it. The only real things that happened that month were just Fart Montage 5 and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Cobalt went out and got Smash Bros. Ultimate the day it came out, or the night it came out. So he camped out and got that game. And I tried to feature it a handful of times. I also got the PlayStation Classic Edition, which I'm getting ready to start messing with later this year. And Fart Montage 5 is another thing that happened, but I just didn't have a lot going on that month. Well, yeah, January of 2019 was the montages. Those are the biggest things to talk about that month. So the McDonald's montage, I was really looking forward to getting out and about, starting to get some of these montages to really show off my sense of humor that I wanted to kind of, I think I had upgraded just within the past 3 months, just in that fall. So despite my illness, I still had, the improvements, which I definitely appreciated. And the McDonald's montage, we just did a bunch of jokes at McDonald's, and had fun with that. I'm going to do more of those, probably more restaurants. I would like to do a Hooters montage, but obviously, with like the Me Too movement and stuff, I don't know if I could actually incorporate the women. That's unfortunate. But so there was also the pseudo fart montage, which is my most popular video this year of 2019. And that's just a series of jokes, not just fart montages by themselves, but actually jokes with farts. So that's kind of the thing that I'm going to continue to do. And then we went and saw David Spade. This was actually one of the last things that I did before October happened. I went and saw David Spade, and between him and Chris Farley, both of those fellows are like pretty far up there with humorous celebrities that I enjoy. And obviously Chris Farley can't happen, but David Spade was pretty funny when I saw him. I'm just trying to think of some of the stuff he talked about. He talked about like trying to see a bird in his mansion, and he had to climb all over the place just to see it. And then when he did see it, it like flew off, and he just didn't really like that or whatever. But yeah, it was actually pretty worth it. I mean, as far as that actually went, it was worth the investment. It was actually in Branson, Missouri. David Spade commented on how Branson was just a complete not, just over the hills town almost, but it did seem like he enjoyed it. And okay, so February of 2019, I kind of started trying some new tricks, and one of which was baked beans. So I learned about baked beans from Booger Man, the video game Booger Man, because in that game, Booger Man uses baked beans as a power-up to get more belches and farts. So obviously I figured if I eat baked beans, maybe that would help with my farting. It didn't, but it's still fun to eat just because they're such, whimsical foods. It just was really strange doing that and shit. And I was starting to do errands more often, which I kind of incorporated in the Halloween video, but so I was doing errands and stuff. I was going to gas stations a lot. That's one of the places I go most nowadays, are to gas stations. And I was also going to McDonald's a lot, getting a lot of chicken sandwiches, going to Sonic a lot, going to Walmart a lot just to get some of that extra stuff. I mean, all those different things, just kind of getting, doing favors and, being helpful and that sort of stuff, and getting little treats in between. So I just felt like making a video out of that, the errands montage, incorporating some burps and that sort of stuff. So yeah, I mean, it did score me a CD or two, so that was fun. And then, of course, I started incorporating Siri that month. So Siri, the phone device, I started making jokes around her, which at first, I mean, some of them may seem like kind of either vulgar or perverted, but it just is a matter of just giving, if it really is a true artificial intelligence, just kind of giving it a hard time, is to kind of see what artificial intelligence thinks of people emotions, rather than just say, where is the nearest Walmart, or where is the nearest, where can I find Kit Kats or something, it's just kind of, where can I find Philly cheesesteaks. But March. So March was definitely something, just because it was the incorporation of new tactics once again. My uncle passed away that month, and that was right as I was working on the Eminem montage with Jackal Goldkick. And so I was coming up with that. Jackal Goldkick had been someone who had commented on my videos since basically Acidic Roots' earliest years. Basically since like year one, he had been there since. One of my earliest supporters. And so I started doing collaborations with him. And that was something, so he's going to make regular appearances for the most part. And then I also, a video I did in February, but I liked as it grew, was the Castlevania fart montage. So I started talking about Castlevania more. The NES Classic was something I also got that I forgot to talk about, but as time went on, I was just kind of messing with the Nintendo a lot. I mean, it's one of the main things I do anymore, is play that fucking NES Classic. I mean, it would be truly perfect to me if it just had every single NES game I wanted to play, but Castlevania is dope as fuck. I mean, Booster and I just did a series of farts with just playing that game, and that was a lot of fun to do. So that was March. In April and kind of late March, I started going to McDonald's, just making vlogs there, and kind of a bunch of jokes centered around just hanging out in like McDonald's booths. So that was a lot of fun to do. I even took Cobalt with me. I figured they wouldn't want Frenchie there just because he's, I mean, not to hurt his feelings, but he's hideous. So there's that kind of thing. And then I started doing the Meanwhile videos. So on top of that, just me talking about like Meanwhile and stuff. Just kind of showcasing, while I'm doing this, what some other cats are doing at the same time. And it's a lot of fun just to sit there and do that. I mean, that's another thing that I'm going to do more in year 5, or some of these Meanwhile videos. So that was April. Just a bunch of jokes. I had some other videos like Belch Montage 9 and Ass Clowns, the Fuck You Pay Me montage. So check out April. It's worth it. And then, of course, in May was a big month, bigger than most Mays are, just because I decided to celebrate my birthday this time around. So that was kind of the thing there. My birthday is at the end of the month, and so I did a birthday, almost like a birthday montage, but I just decided to call it like the birthday vlog. And so I consulted some folks, we got that taken care of. I was working on that. The Game of Thrones finale came out that month. Watched that. Did the Burger King montage. Tried to center things as to not get too convoluted, but still get some of that stuff done. And I also showed off the Tulsa montage. In March, I went to Tulsa, which is basically the biggest town in proximity to where I live. I mean, it has like 450,000 people there. So I figured it would be just right to sit there and just do a montage based around that whole town. And it was fun to do. I mean, that's the thing, is I like going there. I kind of came out empty-handed, but it was still fun to make. So, and then finally the month we're in currently, June of 2019. So I am now in my 30s, and I've been incorporating like more walking videos, going to Taco Bell, walking around, getting lottery tickets, that sort of stuff. The fart videos are starting to pop up that much more frequently. And then, of course, going to the movies is something I'm going to start doing more. So all these things and more is kind of have the emphasis of what needs to happen. So yeah, so that concludes year 4 of acidic roots. I mean, obviously year 4, as of right now, I still have one more video I have to film, but then that should be it. The 2018-2019 year is completed. And it felt good to have done this for 4 full years. That's the thing. I mean, most other things I have not done that long. So that's like the whole damn thing. I mean, it almost feels like acidic roots is starting to become school or something. To talk, just doing this from when you were 25 to all the way to you being like however long that, things continue before. And I mean, at this point, I don't even know what the last acidic roots video would ever be. So that obviously should tell you that there's going to be a year 5, a year 6, and so on. But I just once again have to question, just whether or not, like, if I'm going to hit my apex this time around. To sit there and say how many seasons of a show, like talking, okay, season 5, season 6, season 7, all these different seasons can outdo the first 3, because I feel like 2, 3, 4, years 2, 3, and 4 had a huge bunch of hot videos in them. But that's the thing, to say year 5 is going to be better than that, year 6 is going to be better than both of those combined, is like, what the shit? It's questions I have for myself. The future is as mysterious as it's ever been. But I'll see you after this in year 5.